a hobby horse named Pepe, and freaked Eddie out so much that Chavo ended up actually beating Eddie because Eddie turned him more insane than Eddie was fucking crazy. So we had Pepe, and then to my surprise, this was probably my favorite part of the whole night. We heard the glass break. And
no, you're missing one, though. You're missing one. This is the finish. We can't get to the finish without D'Lo Brown, Fat Mack.
We did get, you know what? I forgot.
He was the
about
first
D'Lo
one
Brown.
to come in after the flock, but I figured we'd hold him off because that was my favorite surprise of the night. I haven't seen or thought about D'Lo Brown in so long. It was so nice to see him.
He even did the head bob.
Yeah, is he going to do the head shake? That's what they're asking on commentary. He did it. The night is complete. We can quit this now.
And at the end, we seen Stone Cold Willie Mack. And he came out with the double birds, and he stunned the fuck out of everybody. And he had beers, and he had Steve Weiser.
Carl Anderson had to deliver the beers to the ring because of...
He brought him over and handed them to him. No throwing, just handed him. Walked over and handed them to him. That was I out of everybody I've seen here, I think Willie Mack surprised me the most.
Yeah, I think so. To see like a legitimate now wrestler showing up. Yeah.
He's the most current big name that was on this show, I think, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely. And to see him doing the Stone Cold row was entertaining as hell.
And that's nothing, as far as I know, and I don't know everything, but as far as I know, he's never done that before. I know, like, Shark Boy used to do the Stone Cold thing. He did the chummer, and he'd go, "Oh, Shell, yeah," and he did a Stone... But, like, I don't remember... I don't think Willie Mack has ever done a Stone Cold parody. Like, I think... I literally think he just did it for this show.
Probably.
Which is more than awesome and just really reflects on this show where it's just a one-off what the fuck.
I love that this started as a tag team match and it ended up like there wasn't even tag teams at the end. It was singles wrestlers coming out.
Oh, it's just people just randomly coming out and fighting for
just
no
like
reason.
any WWE tag team match,
100. Yeah.
Then we had the Pro Wrestling Tees special grudge match, seeing Rory Fox taking on Swoggle Ryder.
Swoggle!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And Swoggle pulled his pants down, as had done before with Brian Myers.
Yes.
And this time, though, he had a G-string on, not like last time where he exposed himself. We didn't get to see the wang. I was pretty disappointed. I wanted to see Rory Fox's Fox.
You got to pay more than $15 for that, Fat Mac.
Well, I would.
I did love that he ran like all the way to the woods. He's just like, I'm not going to stop running. Which match was that, too, where the guy was Irish whipped outside of the ring and he just kept running to the water? But he didn't make it to the water because he got tired of running after running for a while. And he just kind of
no, that wasn't Frankie Coverdale.
It might have been. No. I don't remember. Actually, that might have been how their segment ended. Nature Boy Paul Lee Irish whipped him and he just kept going.
That might have,
and then they came back.
Yeah, actually, I think it is, and they came back, and he had him in a headlock and started hitting him. Yep, yeah. I think that is. Yep.
Good shit. And that's about where my notes end because I had taken a lot of notes and wanted to just enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, it's towards the end of the show, anyways.
Yes.
We move on to we got Chico El Luchador bench pressing. And Chavo tries choking him out by pushing the bar on top of him. And soon he rolls him up for the 24/7 championship. But when he leaves the weight room, Chad Too Bad is there and ends up knocking him out, and he wins the 24/7 championship. So Chad Too Bad is the Talkin Shop Mania 24/7 champion.
I loved the locker room scene with Chavo Guerrero and Chico El Luchador. That was so funny, talking about how like they actually did appreciate each other back in the day. And Chico lays down for the pin.
Your father. I respected your father. Like they're fighting about who respects each other. And I legitimately thought that they were gonna like. I guess I'm stupid, or maybe I'm love struck or optimistic. I thought they were going to stop fighting because they had respect for each other. No, they just talked about how much they respected each other's families, and then they fought again. It's like, fuck that.
It was a good time. Although I do wish, since they were fighting in a home gym, I wish they would have spent a lot more time just kind of breathing heavily like Edge and Randy Orton did. There wasn't enough of that in that segment for me, but it was still pretty great.
We moved on for no reason to Enzo in an empty ring, just talking about that he's here.
That's it, I think.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. He was in an empty ring. He said he was here. That was all of it. And to be honest, this is probably my biggest negative of the whole show. First of all, I didn't need to see Enzo. Second of all, if you're going to have Enzo, put him in a match. Do something with him. Put him in a skit, you know. We know he's a great talker. As much as I don't like him, he's a great talker. Put him in something. He didn't do nothing but just sit in the ring and said, I lost money coming to this thing.
Yeah, right. He came to a shitty pay-per-view to talk about how shitty it is, even though it's being shitty on purpose.
Yeah,
I was really happy to see Enzo. I didn't expect it whatsoever, and it was kind of cool to see him there. I do wish he had a little bit more to do with it. Or if they just had him there and like he didn't talk, because that's so anti-Enzo.
And he did kind of spoil the end of the Boneyard match.
Yeah.
Not a huge spoiler.
No.
But he did let us know that there's a dildo sticking up from the ground. Which isn't shocking.
No, not at all. Oh, the Boneyard match.
And that came next, Paystee, the Boneyard match. What do you have to say about the Boneyard match?
You know, you were pretty on board with the Boneyard match at WrestleMania. I was not so much with it. I thought it had plenty of extra cheese that it didn't need to have, and there was the weird shit with the Druids and stuff. And so when they announced that this was the main event, I was more than happy to see the match that I kind of didn't like that much to be fully spoofed and parodied. And they did so much better than I ever thought they would. It was pretty spot on. I loved everything. God, I don't know. You want to start at the beginning and work your way through it, because there's a lot of good spots in this shit.
This is what I don't have a ton of matches on, or notes on, not matches. We had tons of jokes and references to the original Boneyard match. They talked about Undertaker and AJ and how they came out in Druids and all of that shit. There was the Rock and Roll Express, who was there to sign pictures, which was great. Enzo ended up showing up again to buy pictures, I guess, or what the fuck was Enzo doing there? He was
I think he was there to buy pictures. Yeah,
there you go. He was just there to buy Rock and Roll Express pictures. The thing I do have a note
he was the one to go through their table, too.
Yes, he was. But the thing I do have a note about, there was a flashback spoof of the negotiations between Gallows and Anderson and the Young Bucks to join AEW when their WWE contract was coming up. And they made a verbal agreement with the Bucks that they were going to come to AEW. And then they got a call from Paul Levesque, and he offered them like an insane amount of money, and they ended up turning down the Bucks, and so the Bucks ended up super kicking them in the office of AEW, which I thought was just hilarious.
It was
and
awesome.
They ended it by saying, yeah, they're probably just going to go to TNA anyway.
Right.
Which was just, that was some of the best shit ever. Like, talk about insider fucking shit.
It was great.
That was just awesome. I loved it. It was great. I don't know. They did the double sit up from like Undertaker and Lesnar.
I love Carl Anderson's his weird puppet laugh he's doing. Because I watched part of Raw, and somebody on Raw is doing that now, and so that's a very current spoof. I forget who does it, but yeah, I loved when they sat up with each other and did that the laugh spot.
It reminded me of Jim Carrey's laugh, but I don't know where he got it from.
I just saw it too. I can't remember who the fuck it was. I want to say it like Rollins, maybe someone along those lines. I don't know. It was dumb. But as soon as I saw it on Raw, I'm like, that's what Carl Anderson was doing. That's awesome.
But Chad Too Bad actually ended up winning by burying Sex Ferguson.
Are we gonna completely gloss over Uncle Alan's arm sticking out of the dirt?
Well, no, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Well, okay. Oh, no, we are. Yeah, you're right. That's ahead of time. Okay. Tell me about the jerk-off session. Because fucking AJ jerked off.
Yeah. Sex Ferguson, right?
Sex Ferguson, yeah. Totally gave him a hand job.
Carl Anderson, Uncle Alan, why didn't you save us in New York, Uncle Alan? I know you switched shows, but still.
Yeah, so there's a hand coming up. That's a parody of AJ's hand coming up from the Boneyard match. And they take it, and it's an arm. It's the biceps, the elbow, the forearm, and the hand.
Yeah. That's what an arm is comprised of, Fat Mack.
Well, there's sections of arms. I'm trying to let them know how much of an arm was there. Let's say the whole arm. And but when he grabs it, he's laying in the fucking dirt, just beat up, and the arm is there, and he grabs it, and while Chad Too Bad is like monologuing, he sits there and he hand jobs himself with AJ's fucking arm the whole time. He's just jerking it on his fucking cock.
And then 2 days later, they come out and they say they're trying to convince AJ Styles to go to Impact with them. Like, what?
It was so great. He's just jerking himself off, and even when he gets up, he keeps doing the motion until he gets to Chad Too Bad and starts fighting. Like, he keeps doing the jerk off. It's fucking awesome. Paystee, I don't know how I forgot about that, but thank you, because I forgot about that.
I'm going to burn your fucking face. Don't burn me.
He's just jerking it.
Please don't burn me. I love it.
But yeah, Chad Too Bad won. He buried Sex Ferguson with three shovels of dirt on his crotch. And at the very and he asked if he could have a babyface singles run. That's his boy. Yeah. Can I have a babyface singles run? It's fucking. I love it. Just so much inside shit. It's so much fun. But at the very end, we see Sex Ferguson peek out of the grave with Jason Voorhees' mask on.
Very fiend.
So he was. He's not down and out. So much fun. This is too fucking good. Like this is something I would buy on DVD easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm real glad I get to keep it forever because of Fight. That's brilliant, because this is something I'll have anybody who's ever watched wrestling and loved wrestling for any period of their life. This is something I'll have them sit down and watch.
Yeah, non-wrestling fans would hate this. Like
Yeah.
this, nobody who's a non-wrestling fan would like this at all.
Most WWE casual